Hello there, welcome back to Max's Cards and Dice Dugout. Thanks for stopping by. Robert Max here. This is episode number 62, and we are returning to Strat-O-Matic Baseball for Game 14 of the Oldtimer Kings King of the Hill Tournament, which has the current king, the 1950 New York Yankees, hosting the 1957 Milwaukee Braves. Before we get to the starting lineup, a quick look at the Hill. And as you can see, the 1950 Phillies are lying in wait, sitting in their clubhouse back at Shibe Park. And waiting to see whether they are traveling to the Bronx or Milwaukee. This has all the earmarks of what the handicappers would call a trap game. I'm sure the Yankees are looking forward to taking on the Phillies again. However, they got to get by the Braves first, and they are a formidable opponent, as are all the teams in this tournament. Okay, starting lineups. First for the visiting 1957 Milwaukee Braves. Leading off in center field, Bill Bruton. Batting second, Johnny Logan at shortstop. Batting third, Eddie Matthews at third base. Batting fourth, Hank Aaron in right field. Batting fifth, Wes Covington in left. Batting sixth, Joe Adcock, he's at first base. Batting seventh, Red Shandies, he is at second base. Batting eighth, Del Crandall, he's the catcher. And batting ninth in pitching is Lou Burdette. In 1957, he was 17-9 with a 3.71 ERA in 257 innings pitched. He is a number 2 hitting pitcher. So we'll place the number 2 pitcher's hitting card into the lineup for the Braves. Now for the current Kings of the Hill, the home 1950 New York Yankees. Leading off in left field is Gene Woodling. Batting second at shortstop, Phil Rizzuto. Batting third, the catcher, Yogi Berra. Batting fourth, Joe DiMaggio. He's in center field. Batting fifth, Johnny Mize. He's at first base. Batting sixth, Billy Johnson. He's at third. Batting seventh, Hank Bauer. He's in right field. Batting eighth, Jerry Coleman, the second baseman. And batting ninth in pitching is Ed Lopat. He was 18-8 with a 3.47 ERA, 236 innings pitched in 1950. He is a number 4 hitting pitcher. So we will replace his card with the number 4 pitcher's hitting card. And we are ready to get underway. Lopat's finished his warm-up tosses. Bruton steps up to the plate. Umpire says play ball. Bruton steps into the box, and we are underway. And that's a leadoff single for Billy Bruton. So he's on first with nobody out. Bruton is a stealing A. That makes him a 1-15, but with Berra being a 2, I think that drops him down to... that drops him down to a 10, so he's going to stay put for now. That brings up the shortstop, Johnny Logan. And I'm dropping dice already. All right. That's a fly ball to center field, X. So we're already taking a look at the X chart. That's Joe DiMaggio. He is a 2. And we have a 9. And that is a ball that gets by DiMaggio for a double. Bruton's held up at third. And it's second and third with nobody out for the Braves. And here's Eddie Matthews. That's a ground ball to first base. The infield is back. I did not bring him in. I probably should have. But that is a ground ball to first base, B. If runner... Okay, hold on. We got to check this here. The batter's out at first. If one or more runners are forced, runner at first is out. Well, no runners are forced, so they're both going to hold. And Matthews grounds out unassisted to Johnny Mize. So the Yankees dodge a bullet there defensively. We are going to bring them in now. So it's first and second, or excuse me, second and third with one out for Hank Aaron. The infield is in. That's a 5-9. That's a ground ball to second base C. The runner at third is going to be held up. And just like the last play, except this went to second baseman Coleman, Jerry Coleman, for out number 2. Infield's back now with 2 outs. Second and third for the Braves. And Wes Covington at the plate. That's a ground ball to second base. Where Jerry Coleman fires over to Johnny Mize for the 3rd out. And the Braves certainly threaten but do not score. And after 1/2 inning of play, it's the Braves 0 and the Yankees coming to bat. So Lopat gets a 1 fatigue point. As a starter, he has 11 before he becomes fatigued. Same is true for Lou Burdette. He's out now, and he's going to be facing Gene Woodling, Phil Rizzuto, and Yogi Berra here in the bottom of the 1st. And that's a line out. Hard hit ball, but right at Eddie Matthews for the 1st out. So there's one away here in the bottom of the 1st. And that brings up Scooter. That's a fly ball to right field, and it's going to be an X check. And right fielder for the Braves is Aaron. He's a 2. He rolls a 15. And it's a single and an error. So he hits a single, but the ball gets by Aaron fielding it. And Scooter's going to advance to second on the E9. And we got a man on second with 1 out for Yogi Berra. That's a ground ball to first base. The only play for Adcock is to take it to the bag himself, and that's going to allow Rizzuto to move over the 3rd, but there are now 2 outs. 2 outs, Rizzuto on 3rd for Joe DiMaggio. And that's a fly ball to center fielder Billy Bruton. He's underneath that at the warning track, makes the catch for out number 3. And the Yankees also threaten here in the 1st, but do not score. And after 1 inning of play, we are scoreless. Bruton gets a fatigue point. And for Lopat here in the top of the 2nd, it's going to be Joe Adcock, Red Shandies, and Del Crandall for the Braves. And Adcock draws the leadoff walk. So he's on first with nobody out. And here's Red Shandies. And that's a ground ball to first base. Mize is able to toss over to Rizzuto to get the force out at second base on Adcock. So he grounds out 3-6. And Shandies reaches on a fielder's choice. So there is 1 away. And now Red Shandies is on first for Del Crandall. And he lines that one right at Scooter. Makes a nice play for out number 2. And Shandies gets back to the bag safely. So there are 2 away. And that's going to bring up pitcher Lou Burdett. And that's a strikeout. First strikeout for Ed Lopat. Third out of the inning. So the Braves do not score here in the top of the second. And after 1.5, we are still scoreless. Lopat gets his second fatigue point. And there's Lou Burdett. And the first batter he's going to face is Johnny Mize, followed by Billy Johnson and Hank Bauer. And that's a ground ball to second base, X. Shandy's is a 1. And on the 4. And he makes a nice play. Fires over to Adcock for the first out. So Mize is retired 4-3. And there's one down here in the bottom of the second. Here's Yankees third baseman Billy Johnson. And he hits a ground ball to shortstop Logan. And he tosses over to Adcock for out number 2. So 2 outs, nobody on. And Hank Bauer. And this is a well-hit ball. Back goes, back goes Billy Bruton, but it's over his head, out of here, gone, and it is a 2-out solo shot from Hank Bauer, and the Yankees lead 1-0. And Burdett gets a second fatigue point for the run. Well, here's Jerry Coleman. The Yankees leading 1-0. The bases are empty, and there are 2 outs. And Coleman draws a 2-out walk. So he's on first base. 2 away. And Ed Lopat comes to the plate. And he hits a ground ball to third baseman Eddie Matthews. Fires over to Adcock for out number 3. But the Yankees do score a run on Hank Bauer's solo shot, and after 2 innings of play, it's the Yankees 1 and the Braves 0. Burdett gets a third fatigue point for the run, or for the inning. He already got one for the run. And here we are in the top of the third. Ed Lopat's going to face Billy Bruton. We're back to the top of the order. Bruton, Logan, and Matthews. And that's a fly ball to right field. Hank Bauer's underneath that. Near the warning track, makes the catch for out number 1. Next up, Johnny Logan, Brave shortstop. Logan doubled in the first, but he and Bruton were both stranded there. Bruton was stranded at third. And he hits a single, so Logan's 2 for 2. 1-out single for Logan. His stealing is a C. So we're going to hold him up there. So man on first with 1 out for Eddie Matthews. And that's a fly ball to right field. Hank Bauer's under that. And just as the first out, he makes the second. Logan holds at first. There, man on first, 2 outs for Hank Aaron. Aaron grounded out his first time up. This time he hits a fly ball to center fielder Joe DiMaggio. He's under that. Makes a catch. And that's out number 3. And after 2.5 innings of play, it's the Yankees 1. The Braves 0. Ed Lopat gets his third fatigue point. Lou Burdett's coming back out here. And it's back to the top of the order for the Yankees. Gene Woodling, Phil Rizzuto, Yogi Berra. Here in the bottom of the third. And Woodling draws a leadoff walk. So he's on first with nobody out. He's not a threat to steal. Here's Rizzuto. Scooter hit a single his first time up, but he was stranded at third base in the first inning. 10. This time he drives one right up the middle, which is fielded by Billy Bruton, and Woodling's going to hold up at second. So with Rizzuto's single, the Yankees have first and second with nobody out. And Yogi, he pops this one up to first base, and Joe Adcock's under that, makes the catch for out number 1. Runners hold on first and second. There's one out for Joe DiMaggio. And DiMaggio hits a single that's going to load the bases. Woodling's held up at third. Rizzuto moves to second, and DiMaggio's on first. The bases are loaded with one out. And Johnny Mize coming to the plate. Braves are going to bring the infield in. Let's see, 4-4. And this is a fly ball to center field X. And Bruton is a 2. Let's see. We roll a 3. And oh boy. Bruton boots that ball. And Mize reaches second on an E6, or excuse me, an E8. DiMaggio holds up at third, but Woodling and Rizzuto both score, and now it's 3-0 Yankees. And 2 more fatigue points for Burdette. He's at 5, and we're only in the bottom of the third. So now the Yankees have men at second and third with one out, and Billy Johnson infield is still in. And this is a ground ball to shortstop. Now DiMaggio is going to be forced to hold, and so is Mize. The only play that Logan has is over to first, but he does hold DiMaggio at third and gets the second out. Now the infield's back, and it's runners on second and third, 2 outs. Hank Bauer. And this is a ground ball to second base, and it's going to be an X check. Shandy's is a 1, rolls a 7. And once again, Red makes a nice play. Fires over to Adcock for the third out. 4-3. But the Yankees score 2 runs on Bruton's error, which I need to mark up here. And after 3 innings of play, it's the Yankees 3. And the Braves nothing. Lou Burdette's going to get his 6th endurance point, fatigue point. Guess it depends on whether you look at the glass half empty or half full. All right, here in the top of the 4th, Ed Lopat's going to face Wes Covington, Joe Adcock, and Red Shandy's. It's a ground ball to shortstop. It's an X check. And Scooter's a 1. Rolls a 14. And Scooter makes a nice play, fires over to Johnny Mize, and there's 1 away. So nobody on, 1 out for Joe Adcock. That's a fly ball to center field, and it's also an X check. Joe DiMaggio's out there. He's a 2. And he rolls a 19. And I think it's going to have me roll again. Nope. DiMaggio makes a diving play and retires Adcock. Big defensive play by Jolton Joe. There's 2 away. Nobody on for Red Shandy's. Red reached on a fielder's choice. First time up. This time he hits a 2-out single. So he's on base for the second time. He's at first with 2 outs. And Braves catcher Del Crandall. Crandall lined out to short his first time up. This time he hits the ball hard. It's way back over DiMaggio's head. No doubt about this one. It's gone. A 2-run, 2-out home run by Del Crandall. And the score is now 3-2 in favor of the Yankees. 2 fatigue points for Lopat. So there's 2 outs, nobody on for pitcher Lou Burdette. And he hits a ground ball to Phil Rizzuto. Fires over to John Mize, and that's the 3rd out, but not before the Braves score 2 runs on Del Crandall's no-doubter to center field. And after 3.5 innings of play, it's the Yankees 3 and the Braves 2. Lopat gets his 6th fatigue point for the inning. Burdette's already at 6. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. And he's got Jerry Coleman, Ed Lopat, and back to the top of the order with Gene Woodling. Let's see. Coleman hits a ground ball to Eddie Matthews, over to Adcock, and there's one away here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's pitcher Ed Lopat. And he hits a single right through Burdette's legs and up the middle. And scorer rules it a single, so we got a man on first with 1 out and Gene Woodling. And Woodling pops this one up. Logan's under it, makes the call and the catch for out number 2. So a man on first with 2 outs and Phil Rizzuto. Scooter is 2 for 2. 2 singles and a run scored. This time he hits a ground ball right back to Lou Burdette. And he underhands over to Adcock for the 3rd out. Yankees do get a runner on first, but can't get him around. And after 4 innings of play, it's the Yankees 3 and the Braves 2. Burdette gets his 7th fatigue point. And here we are on the top of the 5th. Top of the order for the Braves. It's Bill Bruton. Bruton singled his first time up. He's 1 for 2. This time he hits a ground ball to first base. It's going to be another X check. And Mize is a 4. So let's see what happens here. He rolls an 8. And he is out. Makes a nice play, gets over to the bag before Bruton can get there. And there's one away. An unassisted play by Johnny Mize. The only 4 in the Yankees lineup. Made a good play there, and there's one away here in the top of the 5th. Here's Johnny Logan. Brave shortstop. He is 2 for 2. Single and a double. This time he hits a fly ball to right field. Right at Hank Bauer. Makes the catch. And there are 2 away. So 2 outs, nobody on for Eddie Matthews. Matthews is 0 for 2. But no longer, because he hits a line shot over Gene Woodling's head, over the wall, out of here, gone. This game is tied at 3. A 2-out solo shot by Eddie Matthews, and we are tied. Lopat gets another fatigue point. He is up to 7. All right. Here's Hank Aaron. 2 outs, nobody on. And he pops this one up to second baseman Jerry Coleman. He's under it, makes the catch, and that's the third out, but not before the Braves tied this game on Eddie Matthews' solo shot. And after 4.5 innings of play, we're all knotted at 3. Lopat gets another fatigue point. He's now at 8. Burdett's coming out here for the bottom of the 5th. The game tied. And he's going to face Berra, DiMaggio, and Mize. This is a ground ball to third baseman Eddie Matthews. Takes his time. Tosses over to Adcock for out number 1. And there's one away here in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody on. Joe DiMaggio. It's a ground ball back to the pitcher, Lou Burdett. All pitchers in this basic game are 2s. He rolls an 11. And he boots it. So DiMaggio's going to reach on the E1. He's on first with 1 out. And Johnny Mize. Mize, that's the second error for the Braves. Mize is 0 for 2. He reached on an error in the 3rd. This time he hits a fly ball to center field. That's Bruton. Makes the catch. And there are 2 away. So 2 outs, nobody on. For Yankees third baseman Billy Johnson, who is 0 for 2. A couple ground outs. This time he hits a fly ball to center fielder Bill Bruton near the track. Makes the catch. And that's the 3rd out. And the Yankees do not score in the 5th. Bottom of the 5th, that is. And after 5 innings of play, we are tied at 3. Burdett gets a fatigue point. He's at 8. Here's Ed Lopat. He's got Covington, Adcock, and Shane Dees here at the top of the 6th. And that is a deep, long fly ball. Back goes Hank Bauer. It's over his head, out of here, gone, and the Braves take the lead on a leadoff solo shot by Wes Covington. And another fatigue point for Lopat, and there's some activity shuffling around in the Yankees bullpen. And it looks like Tom Ferrick is taking off his jacket. He's going to start warming up. So leadoff home run for Covington knots this game. Or excuse me, doesn't knot this game. It gives the Braves the lead 4-3. So here's Adcock. Nobody on, nobody out. And that's a strikeout. That's the 2nd strikeout for Ed Lopat. It's the 1st out of the inning. So 1 away. Bases empty. Red Shandies. And he pops this ball up to Jerry Coleman. Makes the call and the catch. And there are 2 away. Here's Braves catcher Del Crandall. He's already homered in this game, has 2 RBIs. He's 1 for 2. Braves lead 4-3. This time he hits a ground ball to second base. Jerry Coleman, it's an X check. He's a 2. And we roll a 2. And that's a single. It's a 1 base advance, but there's nobody on base. So a 2-out single for Crandall. He's on first. And pitcher Lou Burdett, he's going to bat. Braves lead 4-3 here. Top of the 6th, 2 outs. Man on first. That's a ground ball to third baseman Billy Johnson. And it's an X check again. He's a 2. Rolls a 19. And we got to roll again. That's the 13. And that's a 2-base error. Gets by. Oh, my goodness. Gets by Johnson. It's an E5. Crandall's held up at third as left fielder Woodling quickly fields the booted ground ball. So it's second and third with 2 outs. The Yankees commit their first error. Crandall's on third and pitcher Lou Burdett's on second. 2 outs and top of the order and Billy Bruton. And he hits a single. Now, let's see. Bruton hits a single. It's definitely going to drive in Crandall. But what kind of runner is Burdett? Well, we got to look at the pitcher's hitting card. He's a 1 to 10. There's 2 outs. That makes him a 12. He's going. He got waved around. And he is safe. So Burdett scores on Bruton's single. 2 RBI single. And, oh boy, it is now 6 to 3 in favor of the Braves. And Lopat gets 2 more fatigue points. He is at his threshold. So he can face one more batter. Let's see. Who do the Yankees have coming up here in the bottom of the inning? We're going to leave Lopat out here. He's the third batter in the bottom of the inning. Just to avoid the double switch. All right. He's still at full strength. 1 more fatigue point and he is fatigued. Billy Bruton's on first with 2 outs and Johnny Logan. And he pops this ball up to second baseman Jerry Coleman, who's under it, makes the catch for out number 3. But not before the Braves score 3 runs and now lead this game 6 to 3. Now Lopat is fatigued, so his day is over. And it'll be Tom Ferrick pitching on the top of the 7th. But Lou Burdett's staying in the game for now. He's got a 3-run cushion, and he's going to face Hank Bauer, Jerry Coleman, and the pitcher's spot. And Bauer hits a ground ball to second base. Red Shandies over to Joe Adcock for out number 1. Oh, 1 away. Maybe this was a trap game. I know there's a lot of baseball to be played yet, but all right, Coleman, who had an error that blew the inning open up for the Braves last time around, or top of the inning. He's coming up with 1 out, nobody on. And he hits a fly ball to center field. Bill Bruton, routine, catch, 2 away. Well, as we said, the day is over for Ed Lopat, and the Yankees are going to bring a pinch hitter in for him. Tom Ferrick's warmed up, ready to pitch in the top of the 7th. And it's going to be Bobby Brown. Not Whitney Houston's Bobby Brown, not Frank Zappa's Bobby Brown, but the Yankees' Bobby Brown. All right, so Brown pinch hitting here in the bottom of the 6th. With 2 outs and nobody on. All right. And he rolls a 2-7, and that's a 2-out single. So Brown's on first base with 2 outs, and we're back to the top of the order. Maybe the Yankees can get something going here. But what I'm going to do before I forget it is since Ferrick is a number 2 hitting pitcher, we'll replace his card, or we'll put this in the lineup for Ferrick when he comes out, just to get him in the batting order so I don't forget. All right, so it's a man on first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, and we're back to the top of the order in Gene Woodling. He pops this one up to second baseman Red Shandies, who's under it, makes the catch for out number 3. And the Yankees are retired. They do not score, and after 6 innings of play, it's the Braves 6 and the Yankees 3. Burdette gets his 9th fatigue point. And as we said, Ed Lopat's day is over. The new Yankees pitcher is Tom Ferrick. Ferrick in 1950 was 9-7 with a 3.78 ERA and 81 innings pitched. He is a full reliever, so he is only eligible for 4 fatigue points. But Whitey Ford's not available today because he pitched a few innings in the Yankees' last game. Otherwise, I might have brought him out. Okay, so it's Ferrick, and the first batter he's going to face is Eddie Matthews. And the Braves are leading 6-3 here in the top of the 7th. He pops this one up to first base. In fair territory, Johnny Mize is there, makes the catch. And there's one away. Next up, Hammer and Hank. Nobody on, 1 out. And he lines this one to Scooter. It was a heater. Scooter held on. There are 2 down. Here's Wes Covington, who's homered in this game. That's a 6-7. And that's a strikeout. That's the first strikeout for Ferrick. And the 3rd out of the inning. So nothing from the Braves in the top of the 7th, and after 6.5, it's the Braves 6, Yankees 3. Lou Burdette's back out. Ferrick does get his first fatigue point. Lou Burdette's back out. And he's got Rizzuto, Berra, and DiMaggio. And this is a ground ball from Berra to 3rd baseman Eddie Matthews. Routine play. And he tosses over to Adcock for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. So 1 out and Yogi Berra. And Berra hits a 1-out single. He's on first base. See if the Yankees can get a rally going here. 1-out man on first for Joe DiMaggio. And this is a catcher's card X check. And Del Crandall is a 2. Rolling 11. And that one gets by Crandall. That's going to allow Berra to move up to second base on a pass ball. And on the next pitch, DiMaggio fouls one. Crandall's over by the screen. He has enough room, makes the catch. And there are 2 away. So there's 2 outs with a man on second, that being Yogi Berra, who advanced on the pass ball. And Johnny Mize coming up to bat. Mize is 0 for 3. This time he hits a ground ball to second baseman Red Shandies. Routine play, tosses over to Adcock. And that's the 3rd out. Yankees get a runner in scoring position, but leave him there. And after 7 innings of play, it's the Braves 6 and the Yankees 3. And let's see if Burdette gets his 10th fatigue point. His day might be over. Ferrick's coming back out here, though. Top of the 8th. And he's got Joe Adcock, Red Shandies, and Del Crandall. And that's a strikeout. That's his second strikeout. And the first out here in the top of the 8th. Brave second baseman, Red Shandies. And, oh boy, it's a ground ball to first base. And over there, as Mize is going to the bag, he makes the play, but he and Shandies get tangled up, and Red seems like he's hurt. So that's an unassisted play. Well, let's see about the injuries. And we are playing with injuries in this tournament. We've had one already. It was a minor one. I believe it was Jose Pagan for the Giants. Missed 1 game. So we're going to roll the 20-sider and see how bad things are for Shandies. Trainer's out there, and so is the manager. And it's a 13. And he's going to have to leave the game. And it looks like he's going to be out for a few. In fact, he's going to be out for 3 games. So, wait a minute. What am I doing here? Here we are. Shandies, he's going to be out for 3 games. So let me make a note down here. Sorry about that. Okay. So, Braves are going to be without Shandies for the remainder of this game and 3 more games. And let's see who's going to replace him. They only have 20-man rosters. It's like it's going to be Felix Mantilla. Yes. He will be the Braves, second baseman for the next few games. The remainder of this game and 3 games following with the injury to Shandies. So I'm going to put him in the lineup now. And that's Mantilla. And unfortunate for Shandies, but he's out of the game. And he's going to be out for a few days. All right. So, we got 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the 8th, and Del Crandall. And this is a catcher card. X check. Bear is a 2. Rolls a 13. And that one gets by him. There's nobody on base, so it really doesn't matter. On the next pitch, Crandall fouls one near the screen. Bear is under it, makes the catch for out number 3. And the Braves do not score in the 8th, and unfortunately, they lose their star second baseman. And after 7.5 innings of play, it's the Braves 6 and the Yankees 3. Ferrick will get another fatigue point. That's 2 for him. And here in the bottom of the 8th, Lou Burdette, who's still out there. He's got 1 fatigue point to spare. So Don McMahon's going to start warming up. Or not Don McMahon, no. Bob Trowbridge is going to start warming up for the Braves. But Burdette's staying out here for now. He is at 10 fatigue points. He will be fatigued after this inning. He will be fatigued. Or no, he'll be at 11 after this inning. But if there's any runs scored, he may have to come out. That's why Trowbridge is getting ready. Okay, so we got Billy Johnson, Hank Bauer, and Jerry Coleman here in the bottom of the 8th. That's a 2-7. That's a ground ball to the shortstop. Logan to Adcock, 1 away. One out, nobody on. Hank Bauer. Bauer homered way back in the 2nd inning. This time he hits a ground ball right back to Lou Burdette. He jogs over towards first base, underhands it to Adcock for out number 2. Nice play by Burdette. There's 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Nobody on, Jerry Coleman. This is a nice hit. Gets past the third baseman, Eddie Matthews, into left field, and Coleman is on with a 2-out single. All right. So we're back to the pitcher spot, and we're going to bring in a pinch hitter. It's going to be Joe Collins. And the Yankees are going to start getting Ali Reynolds warming up. He's going to come out in the 9th inning for the Yanks. But right now, Joe Collins, excuse me, is pinch hitting for Tom Ferrick. So, there's a man on first with 1 out, Joe Collins. And he hits a ground ball to third baseman Eddie Matthews. He goes the short way over to Mantilla at second base for the 3rd out. So that's a 5-4 put out for the 3rd out. And the Yankees do not score in the 8th. And after 8 innings of play, it's the Braves 6 and the Yankees 3. Burdette gets his 11th fatigue point. So his day is done if he has to come back out. Well, he's not coming back out because we're going to pinch hit for him here. And it's also not Ferrick. It's Ali Reynolds. All right, so Ferrick's day is done. He did his job, didn't give up any runs. But now it's going to be Ali Reynolds. And I don't expect him to bat, but Ali Reynolds is a starter reliever. So he gets 7 fatigue points to play with. And also, we said that Burdette's day was over, and Del Rice is going to pinch hit for him. Backup catcher for Milwaukee. So Rice is going to pinch hit here in the top of the 9th, with the Braves leading 6-3. And that's a ground ball to Scooter. It's the next check. He's a 1. Rolls a 5. Scooter makes a nice play, tosses over to Johnny Mize, and there is 1 away. 6-3. All right. We're back to the top of the order. And Bill Bruton. All right, Braves lead 6-3, 1 out here in the top of the 9th. 1-8. This time Bruton pops it up to Johnny Mize. He's under it, makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 away here. And Braves shortstop, Johnny Logan. There's no one on base. But now there is, because Logan hits a 2-out double. So he's on second base with 2 away. And Eddie Matthews, who's homered in this game. This time he draws a walk. So it's first and second. Excuse me, with 2 outs. And Hammer and Hank, who has been quiet. 0 for 4. This time he hits a ground ball to third base. It's an X check. Billy Johnson's a 2. And he rolls a 12. And that is a 1-base error. E5 is going to load him up. Whoops. He's not on second. He is. He's on third. All right, so Yankees commit their second error. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. And Wes Covington, the infield's back. Covington is 0 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or no, excuse me. Covington is 1 for 4, and that one was a home run. This time he rolls a 6-9, and that's a fly ball to center fielder Joe DiMaggio. Near the track, he makes the catch for the 3rd out. And the Braves load him up, but can't bring anyone in. And after 8.5 innings of play, it's the Braves 6 and the Yankees 3. All right. Bob Trowbridge is coming out for the Braves here in the bottom of the 9th. He is a starter reliever, so he is... Oh, yes, and Reynolds, I forgot, gets a point. But he's a 7 because he's a starter reliever. And he's going to face the top of the order for the Yanks here in the bottom of the 9th. Gene Woodling. He hits a ground ball to first baseman Joe Adcock, who takes it unassisted for the 1st out. So 1 out, nobody on. Phil Rizzuto. Rizzuto lifts a fly ball to left field. Covington's under that. Easily makes the catch, and there are 2 away. Yankees are down to their last out, last chance. And it's Yogi Berra. 2 outs, nobody on. And Berra's trying to keep the game alive. He hits a 2-out single. And those that remain here in Yankee Stadium give him the Bronx cheer. Okay, so got a man on first with 2 outs and Joe DiMaggio. And DiMaggio hits a deep fly ball to over center fielder Bill Bruton's head. It's out of here, gone. And the Yankees cut the Braves' lead to 1 run. This game is now 6-5. It ain't over yet, folks. All right. Trowbridge gets 2 fatigue points for the 2 runs. And it's 2 outs, nobody on. Game is 6-5. John Mize at the plate. And he hits a deep fly ball to center field that sends Bruton back to the track, back to the wall, but he makes the catch. A loud, long out number 3 to end this game. And the Yankees do score 2 runs here in the bottom of the 9th. But the Braves hold them off and win this one 6-5. Let's get some totals. The Braves had 6 runs on eight hits. They committed 2 errors. The Yankees had 5 runs on 9 hits. And they also committed 2 errors. The winner is Burdette. And the loss goes to Lopat. So we got a new king of the hill. The Yankees are sent a tumbling. Maybe this was a trap game. I don't know. The Yankees tried to come back. Not enough. And they lose this one 6-5. We have a new king of the hill. First time for Milwaukee. The Braves are the current kings of the hill. And they will take on the 1950 Phillies in Milwaukee in game number 15 of the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Oldtimer Kings King of the Hill tournament. That's going to do it for this episode. If you hung around, I appreciate it. And I also admire your courage and your patience. And that's going to do it for this episode. And until next time, take care.